Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel. Welcome to my Best of Designers series. And today we're talking about Mike Elliott. Now, Mike Elliott is known outside of board gaming. He's done a lot of collectible card games. He was one of the lead designers on Magic the Gathering. He also made a game, Battle Spirits, very popular in Japan. And he's done a lot of that, but he's in recent years has moved into board gaming. Many times he's worked with other designers. In fact, I think his best work is when he does work with other designers or when his stuff is developed. But he has some pretty good games, a lot of games I like. So today we're talking about my favorite 9 games from Mike Elliott. Here we go. Number 9, Shadowrun Crossfire. Now, I'm not a real big into the Shadowrun universe. I don't know a lot about it. In fact, it's the only game I think I played that's in that universe. And so Shadowrun Crossfire is a cooperative game where you are trying to complete missions in front of you, but they're going to keep wailing on you, and then the other people are doing that at the same time, and you can help each other. It's like a little bit of a deck building style game. Very fun, and it has a strong theme to it. They redid it as Dungeons and Dragons. Z likes that. I kind of like the Shadowrun one better myself. Number 8 is Immortals. This is kind of a take on Dirk Henn's system that he used for Shogun and Wallenstein, but instead makes it a kind of just all attacking. Where you have these 2 planes of existence, one above ground and one below ground, or in 2 different worlds, I'm not sure which, and you have your armies jumping from one to another, trying to control using the fantastical cube tower. And as cubes fall down, you'll fight each other. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch the review. A lot of good stuff there. Number 7 is Quarriors, co-designed with Eric Lang. This took the deck building genre and put dice into it. I really like the idea of dice, pulling dice from a bag and buying more dice to put in that bag, and there's so many different variations. Best with the Quarterfact expansion, I think. That adds a lot to the game, but it's a really neat game, and I just tend to like hundreds of custom little dice all over the place. Number 6 is Lost Legends. Not often talked about, Lost Legends is a drafting game where you are drafting equipment to go into a dungeon and fight people. Now, there's some interesting things about Lost Legends. You kind of have to know how to play the game. The game is extremely hard. You will die hands down if you don't draft properly. And it's probably a little too hard, actually, but once you know how hard it is, and once you kind of know what to draft, then the game gets really well done as you're drafting, and then basically just trying to stay alive as long as possible to get the most points. Also, some really cool artwork. Number 5 is Speechless. Kind of biased here. Speechless is part of the Dice Tower Essentials line, a party game where it's basically just pantomimes and you're trying to get people to guess what you're doing. But if people guess incorrectly but they match each other, then they get points. And that little concept there was the hook that really entertained me, because we might be like, definitely an eagle. And you're like, that wasn't an eagle at all. Yeah, well, me and Joe both fought it, so we're getting points. Number 4 is Agent Hunter. This is a back and forth, it's a little game. AEG was making a whole bunch of little small games, and this was one I kind of felt really good about as you went back and forth trying to get your opponent's secret agents and figure out who they were. A nice little card game with a cool spy theme attached to it. Number 3 is Star Trek Fleet Captains. I like Star Trek a lot. And Fleet Captains is the Star Trek in a box, essentially, where, you know, it's a whole season of Star Trek. You can play, in the original game, you can play the Federation or the Klingons, but they added the Romulans and the Dominion later on. And you have ships, you can go fight other people. You can go transport a team down to a planet and do something. You can go and have Tribbled problems. You can go and run into the stuff that happened in different movies. It's all in this game, and it's very cinematic. Now, the quality of the game is not so great, but the story in it is a lot of fun. Number 2 is Thunderstone Quest, or Thunderstone Advance, or Thunderstone. Thunderstone was the game he originally designed. It was the first deck builder, major deck builder, after Dominion, and this one kind of had a dungeon crawling theme to it. And I liked it. It was good. Then I played Thunderstone Advance, and I liked that one even better. Thunderstone Quest is even better. Now, again, developers have made these to where they are, but the base concept of collecting cards from a village and buying cards and then using these cards to go into the dungeon was done by Mr. Elliott, and it's really, really entertaining, and I love playing it. And my favorite game for Mike Elliott, he co-designed with Eric Lang, another dice bag building style game, and that's Dice Masters. So you Marvel Dice Masters, DC Dice Masters, Yu-Gi-Oh! Dice Masters, the upcoming Warhammer 40K Dice Masters, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Dice Masters, and these can be all mixed together, or Dungeons and Dragons Dice Masters, but it's just a really good game. I know every time I mention this, people are like, the game's not as good as you say it is. I love it. It is that perfect mix for me between Magic the Gathering and just chucking dice. You can have a really cool, you know, you're building your deck as the game goes by to fight at your opponent. So there's some pre-planning as you pick which characters you're going to use. You get to use all your favorite superheroes ever and different mixes and matches, which is fun too. And then you have to decide when to attack, when to defend. It really hits a sweet spot for me. I love this game. All right, well, those are my favorite games from Mike Elliott. Tell me what yours are. What did I miss? What did I have on my list that I shouldn't have? Until next time, I'm Tom Vasel. You've been watching Best of Designers, Mike Elliott on the Dice Tower.